Xin chào tất cả mọi người. Bữa nay là ngày Chủ nhật. Bây giờ là 8:26 giờ đó. Rồi bây giờ mình sẽ chuẩn bị đi camping. Bye bye. Then on our way to the camping site, we then decided to stop by McDonald's to get breakfast. We decided to get breakfast and eat in the car because we didn't want to waste time eating in the restaurant. And then while on our way to the camping site, it started raining. And this is when we started to get really worried about if we could do any outdoor activities at this place. And then as we got closer to our destination, it started to rain even harder, which worried us even more. We then decided to stop at Dollar General to get some eggs to make breakfast in the morning. Then after buying the eggs at Dollar General, we were right back on the road and heading to the camping place. So right after arriving at our destination, we then checked in and then decided to rent a golf cart to maneuver around the camping place as well.
Theo mình biết cái nào của mình này.
Của mình màu gì? Của mình màu gì?
Màu brown này nè.
Xuống đây hả?
Để sao có nhiều người với water park cái vậy?
Water park.
Không còn nhiều người mà bữa nay về. Vòng chơi hả? Mỗi bữa nào tự nhiên bữa nay mình đi cái thấy là nhiều. Để có hả? Mình lấy cái mền quăng đi để hơi mình. Kìa nó có đem xe đạp theo đó kìa.
Lực kìa.
Chơi nè.
Also at this camping place, there was also some people who also brought tents, and this was a specific spot that was reserved for tenting as well, so no RVs here. But as we drove towards the back of the campsite, we then saw a lot of RVs and campers at this spot, and then we soon realized that at the back of the campsite, there was a specific spot for RVs and campers as well. And then at this point, I saw that there was a basketball court and some basketball hoops. But I was disappointed since I didn't bring a basketball with me. Then after 10 minutes of driving, we then decided to go to this trampoline bouncy house thing because we saw it from a distance and we thought that Mason would like to play on it. So then we drove there. But as soon as we arrived at the bouncy house trampoline thingy, we saw that it was all wet. And we realized it was all wet because of the rain. So then we decided to go back to the car to have Mason change into a swimsuit, and then he could play on the trampoline. And then as we kept driving around the campsite, we saw that there was even more houses towards the back of the campsite, which was really interesting and cool to see. We also soon realized that there was a lot more RVs and campers compared to the amount of houses or cabins that were at the camp, which I thought was also really interesting as well. And not only were there more houses towards the back of the camp, but the houses or cabins were all of different styles as well. And then as we kept driving, we encountered upon this part of the camping site, and then we realized that these houses or cabins at this camp were newly built and were the best ones there. There was also a water park at this camping site as well, and this was a place where Mason would soon play at too.
Cái hồ đây nè, bên đây cái hồ kìa. Ô, cái này mình chơi mấy vui kìa.
Vậy đi, cái chiếc tàu ở đâu vậy?
Đó kìa. Oh man.
And then next to the water park, there was also a lake for more water activities, and this is a place where you could kayak and climb those bouncy thingies over there, as you guys can see. Then finally, we were officially going back to the car to get Mason's swimsuit so that he could go back to the bouncy housey thingy so he could play there. We then finally drove and arrived at the bouncy housey trampoline thingy, and then Mason started to play, and he had a lot of fun playing there. There was also even an obstacle course here as well, and Mason wanted to go and attempt it. And as you guys can see here, he attempted it and was successful in doing it. Then right after Mason completed the obstacle course, he then decided to go on this bouncy slide. Then right after playing at the bouncy housey trampoline thingy, Mason then decided he wanted to go to the water park to play. So then we decided to drive there so Mason could play and have fun. Ủa? Có ba đâu rồi? Then after a little bit, me and my mom decided to go look at the scenery while my dad stayed with Mason to watch him play at the water park. Ngon gì vậy?
Đi ngắm cảnh nha.
And then as me and my mom kept driving, we then encountered these tires. And these tires were actually the spot where you could play laser tag. And we didn't know that you could play laser tag at this place either. And then at this point, we saw that there was a bunch of cows. I don't know, I just thought it seemed interesting. So I just wanted to show you guys. Then after Mason played at the water park for a decent amount of time, my dad and Mason then decided to go over to the lake and play over there as well. Uh-oh. Ngon té. Uh-oh. And right after my dad and Mason finished playing on the bouncy housey trampoline thingies out at the lake, they then decided to go on a kayak. Then right after my dad and Mason finished playing on the kayak, we were then informed that our cabin was ready, and so we then drove to our cabin to rest a little bit and to also put our stuff in the cabin as well. Then after a few minutes of driving, we then finally arrived at our cabin. Also, even though it was a cabin, it had everything that we needed. It was basically a hotel room, which surprised me, and it had plenty of utensils and a lot of just everything that we needed in everyday life, which I thought was interesting and really cool to have. Then right after settling down in the cabin, we then decided that we would eat because we were getting super hungry. So then we ate chicken, watermelon, and some carrots as well. Then right after we all finished eating, we then decided to go to the general store that was right at the front of this campsite, and we decided to go buy some stuff if there was anything that we liked. This place was like basically a convenience store. It had a lot of food and just a lot of utensils as well, and some toys. And me and Mason also decided to buy a cat and a dog as well. And also right next to the general store, right down the stairs of the general store, there was also an arcade that we could play at. Oh. And then right after we played at the arcade, there was a mini golfing place as well, so we then decided to go mini golfing.
Cái gì nè, như bắt đầu chỗ đó kìa.
I want to go see the next one next.
Then right after mini golfing, we then decided to drive back to our cabin and decided to eat some burgers because at this time it was dinner time, and at the same time we were also very hungry. And at this time you guys can see that my dad is putting the burger patties in the oven. And then after some time, the burgers were finally all finished, and we actually were planning to make the burgers outside on the grill and grill them and all that jazz, but it was unfortunately raining outside. Mình mời mỗi người ăn cùng gia đình mình nhé.
Ăn nữa cắn thử cái ăn nó sao nè. Hồi nãy mình có bỏ muối rồi.
Ngon quá. Mà mỗi người không có ăn được đâu.
Trời anh hay hả, miệng quá bự.
And then right after we all finished eating, we then decided to go on a drive since it stopped raining. But the thing was, it was still super foggy.
Ê, chỗ đó quen kìa.
Nấu đồ ăn quá mà quen quá.
Ông quen hả? Vô nữa, hi, how are you? Long time no see. Mày vui vậy? Vui vậy?
While on our drive, we then encountered this little spot over here which you could fish. And there was also a little playground for kids as well. We then soon returned to our cabin, and since it stopped raining, we decided to start a campfire so that we could roast some marshmallows and then make some s'mores as well. And then at this point, you guys can see me and my dad are currently roasting marshmallows, and it was super fun, but my eyes were burning. It hurt a lot. Then right after roasting some marshmallows, I then decided to make some s'mores as well. And this was my first time making s'mores by myself. Yeah, cái s'more nè. Ồ. Không hả? Ngon hơn cái trong kia. After trying and eating the s'mores that I made, I thought they were very, very delightful and delicious, and I thought that I was successful in making them. So everyone, that was our camping trip, and I hoped everyone enjoyed this video. And if you guys did enjoy this video, you guys can comment, like, and subscribe. See you guys next time. Bye bye.